Alrighty, it's your boy Zxous, and we are back with another Goddess of Victory Nikke video. Now, today we're going to be talking about something that I just think it's so hilarious. So, if you guys are living under a rock and you don't know yet, Nikke, the official Nikke dev team, leaked their half anniversary before the live stream, right? I guess they accidentally posted it on their website, so we actually are allowed to record stuff on this just because it's official information from the official people, right? It's not like a leaker went in to found this stuff. No, the dev team from Nikke posted this themselves, and someone is getting fired because they posted everything, right? Besides, we don't know what the skills are for some of the, for obviously Dorothy. But if you don't know, Dorothy is the half anniversary character, which I already knew, right? I already knew it was going to be Dorothy, just because of how lore works in this game, right? Chapter 18 being Laplace, chapter 20 and 19 dropping, and then we have, what's her name, Modernia, and then obviously Nihilus, their liberation, right? It was just kind of obvious, right? Because if you actually are in chapter 20, or if you beat in chapter 20, the whole point is basically Dorothy is, it's not really only Dorothy, but like Dorothy is like kind of the main focus for chapter 20, right? So if they were to drop another character that was already in the game, which they would have, because it seems like for big celebrations they drop characters that we already know of, Dorothy was the next big thing, right? Literally, because they're adding chapter 21 and 22 as well, which they've confirmed, so it only made sense that Dorothy was the one to drop next, right? It kind of works like that, right? And then I want to say whoever the main characters are for chapter 21 or even just chapter 22, that will be the next like big character we'll know about that's dropping. I want to say that's a Pilgrim, we'll see. So yeah, Nikke actually did post, like I said, they posted this. They deleted it, but they've already posted it, so we already know. But Dorothy is the character. Now let me show you guys Dorothy, because Dorothy's already in the game, so it's not really a leak or anything. But Dorothy is her. This is Dorothy. This is Dorothy right here, right? She's already in the game. Right? Yeah, that's her. Very, very nice character. Now, she is going to guarantee be a burst 1 or 2 unit because she's a supporter, right? We don't have any burst 3 supporters beside the 1R character, so she's guaranteed a burst 1 or burst 2 character, right? Now, she's pretty useful, actually, from what we know of her right now. So, basically, to sum it up, she's a character who reduces cooldown for her burst skill, increases damage when attacking enemy parts, and then also has pierce, right? Like it seems like that's what she has, but she has this new effect basically where it seems like she puts a debuff on all enemies, right? When you use her burst skill, I want to say she puts a debuff. I don't know if it's a burst skill or any skill. We'll find out when the actual skills come out. But she puts a debuff on all enemies, and then while that debuff is on, you're attacking enemies, right? Everybody on your team is attacking enemies, and it's accumulating the damage, right? And that basically means it's storing up the damage, basically to like dish out more, right? Kind of like an investment, somewhat, right? So accumulated, you're going to... There's a debuff on the enemies, you're doing damage which is being accumulated, and when the debuff is done, all that damage that you guys put into that debuff will burst and explode to all enemies. It's actually going to be very broken because Scarlet and Modernia run this game too, right? Like, I'm so scared of how nasty that's going to be with someone like Haran and Virus Transfer with her burst skill too, right? It might be very, very, very criminal. So, she's definitely a character you're going to want to have. She's an AR, a support type, we know, and she's a Pilgrim. She is dropping on the 27th. So keep that in mind. She is dropping on the 27th. She's broken, but I know she's hype. I know she's hype. But the next thing is they're actually giving a free max limit break 3-star SSR unit for free. So chat, if you are someone who's stuck at the 160 wall, but you just need one more character 3-star to pass it, then you've won, because you're not going to be able to get it instantly, but in the course of 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to be able to get her for free, all 3 copies, right? I mean, I think you get the first copy for free within the first couple of days, if not the first day. But to get all 3 copies, I think you have to do story 1 and story 2. It's like Himeno and stuff like that, right? So I'm assuming they're giving 1 in the mill, right? 3 from the event. So I know they're giving 1 from a daily login too, but we'll talk about all that stuff, right? So yeah, the thing. Let's go back to Dorothy though, because there's more interesting parts about her. Now, Dorothy is a character who has a 2% rate of being pulled. Chat. This is the second ever Pilgrim banner, and if you guys do not remember, Modernia was the only one, right? But Modernia had a 1% rate of being pulled. If you do not understand what this means, it means there's a 50-50 chance now for you to pull Dorothy. That's a chat. If you have the gems, I'd recommend going for that LB3. There's no way, because if it's a 50-50, you either have a 50% chance of pulling her, or you have a 50% chance of not pulling her. Actually, it's a 50-50. Whereas if it was 1%, it would be way harder to pull her, but she still had the highest rate of being pulled, right? So it would still be very difficult to pull her if she was at 1%, because then it would be 1% chance to pull her and 3% chance to pull anybody else. So you would kind of lose there, but she would still have the highest rate individually, right? But because it's a 50-50, when you summon and you get SSR, it's either her or it's somebody else. It's like guaranteed like that, right? It's not like either her or somebody else, right? It's either just her or somebody else. It's literally as good as that. You can get it, obviously, for golden tickets. That's always the same. So if you have 200 golden tickets, you already have her. Because I know I do. I have 200 golden tickets already. So I already own Dorothy. It's like I'm just going to be summoning for dupes at that point. And then also, she will be added, obviously, to, what's it called? The general recruitment and this point recruitment, and then also the pilgrim modes. But she's obviously a pilgrim, so you can't put her on the wish list. So she's still going to be a very, very, she's going to be a character you just can't guarantee get, basically. I mean, you know, you cannot guarantee get any character, but you know, she's not on the wish list, right? Now, this character, Ray, I think her name is Ray. It's like R-E-Y. I don't know why they spelled it like this, but it's like R-E-Y. I think she's a defender. This is a free character, right? She's a free character. She's a defender. They don't say much about her, but what we know is that she heals, and then she actually it seems like she kind of like increases the burst gauge, right? And so that's what we know from just this little summary of her. But again, we will wait when we see the full skills, right? And you get her through Overzone, which I guess Overzone is the major event, right? I guess Overzone is the major event. Now, she's a limited character, though, so you have to play, which she's an SSR, by the way, and she's a limited character. You have to play the game when she's out, because if you do not, you're not going to be able to get her any other way. Right, so keep that in mind. New skins. Alice and Viper skin is coming. Not for free. But a Viper and Alice skin is coming. So Alice is going to be an event battle pass, which means she's a $15 battle pass. Kind of like the Chainsaw Man with the frames, right? If you guys bought the Chainsaw Man collab, she will be there with an actual skin. And then Viper will be a regular battle pass, right? So the $20 ones. And she's getting a bunny skin, a bunny girl skin, it seems like. Yeah, Viper's costume is worn as a rabbit girl during a special event, right? So it's kind of a bunny girl outfit. And then Alice's is a sweet home. So I think it's just going to be her in like the kitchen or something like that, just because it's going to be nice anyways, because she's always wearing outside clothing anyway, so it's whatever. 3 new activities, Overzone. So Overzone is, I think Overzone is just the regular story. Like Overzone is what the event is called, I want to say, right? Because it says story 1 and then story 2. So in story 1, you get, I believe, 1 copy of the SSR girl. Oh, got a notification on my phone. So story 1, you get 1 copy of the SSR girl. I think story 2, you get it. Yeah, so it says here. Pass all the chapters and complete the achievement task to get an SSR Ride 2-star. To get her to, probably SR, by the way. Probably SR, by the way. You see, chap, this is what I think, though. A lot of people said she was an SR, but even leaks before said she was an SSR, and then, again, this was what Nikke himself posted. And every time they mention this character, they purposely put SSR. So I still don't understand how people say she's an SR. I understand why they're saying it, because it says 2-star, but you also have to remember, chat, if you scroll down a bit more, you actually do get 1 copy of her as well from logging in, right? So you receive 1 copy of her from logging in, and then you will get her 2 stars from this event. So for you to get her 2 stars, that means you get 3 copies from the event, the initial copy, and then the 2 copies to make her 2-star, and then the last copy will be from the event, which makes 3 stars, right? I believe that's how it should be. Because again, Nikke posted it themselves, and every single time, I don't believe it's a mistake, because every single time, this is like the 8th time in this patch note or whatever that they said SSR, right? If it was a mistake, I'm sure it would only say SSR either once or twice, but if for it to say SSR for every single time is a bit wild, right? So keep that in mind. So yeah, I'm saying you get 1 from the daily login, and then you actually get 3 from the event, right? From the achievement task, and probably from beating the last chapter of 20 or story 2, and then probably beating the last chapter of story 1. That gives you 1, or that gives you the 2. You get probably 1 from the missions, and then you get another 1 from logging in daily. That's what I'm assuming, right? That's how you get up to the 3 stars, right? Because it says you get 1 here, and then it says you get a 2-star SSRI from the event, right? So the last one would just be here, right? Simple. We're getting chapter 20 and 20, or 21 and 22, which we already knew of because of the dev notes. We're getting solo raids, but that won't start until May 11th, so I won't talk too much about that. Also, for Law Selector, they're adding level 14, 15, EX04 and EX05, which is not bad. And we are getting Union Raids that is also starting on the 28th. So if you're in my guild, you're going to do Union Raid, I promise you. Yeah, and then the new products. So the Wonderland Pass is the Alice Battle Skin. The Alice Battle Pass, right, for like $15. And you get advanced recruit vouchers from that one. And then also the May Mission Pass is the Viper skin. So you're not getting any free skins for Viper or Alice. The only free skin is Modernia, but they never mentioned it here, so I can only assume we get that later. And then they're refreshing the T9 Manufacturing Equipment Pack for $100. So Wills, if you need that last piece again for somebody, you can go ahead and get that and all that jazz. So yeah, it's a very, 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 it says, wait, 3.4 Outpost theme event, 4.1 main storyline chapter updated, and then new game content. I guess this is for this part right here, right? And then new game content is this part right here. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So yeah, it's very, very insane. Oh, I didn't mention this. There's a mini game too. My bad. There's a mini game, right? I don't know what the mini game is about because all the mini games have been different, obviously. But there's a mini game as well, so it's a very, very big event. It's on par with the Christmas event and also the Chainsaw Man event in terms of the content. Actually, this one is gonna have the most because it's gonna have 2 story chapters. The 2 actual story from the event, a mini game, and then it's also going to have Union Raids. It's going to have solo raids. It's a very, 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 very big event. Lost Selector or whatever sector. Right, what's it called? It's called Lost Sector, right? Yeah, Lost Sector update. So it's the biggest event yet that Nikke has had. It's a very, very big update for a half Annie, which is very nice. But yeah, Dorothy being 2% is very good because again, that's a pilgrim. And it's going to be a pretty good one at that. You're getting a free max limit break, which is a LB3, Ray, whatever, and then also the battle pass skins for Viper and Alice. It's a lot, and then a lot of content. So you guys let me know what you think. Right, they didn't mention Modernia skin in here. I assume we actually will find all that stuff in the actual live stream, which is happening tomorrow at 6 a.m. EST for the Japanese side. So stay tuned for that. But it's gonna be your boy Zxous, and I'm out. Peace.